The NFT space has been in a massive bull trend for the past couple of months now. And in this video, I will discuss with you where this trend is headed, in my opinion, and also if you're standing on the sidelines, where you could place your bets, the most interesting place to look into. Let's jump right in, but before we do that, please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also, most importantly, guys, join the Discord community, which you can find a link to in the description down below. And join that community, guys, because it is there that we discuss the most interesting bets, the most interesting projects, and we disclose the highest amount of alpha. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the content. So, one of the charts that I always present on this channel is this chart here that discusses and displays the volume, the daily volume candles for each and every day for the past 6 months. And here we're looking mostly at OpenSea data. So basically how much money has been flowing in the OpenSea market for the past 6 months. And now you can see from the chart, we had a very hot summer, right? We really had an enormous bull run, a parabolic run in terms of volume throughout the entire month of August. And we peaked at the end of August. We went all the way down. We capitulated in November, but since then we started recovering. And you can fact check me. The last video where I showed you this chart, we were about at this point here, mid-December. I said, this is time to be optimistic. This is time to be hopeful. It seems that the entire market is gaining steam again. And honestly, I believe that this trend can only but continue for a few weeks, at least. And we see a clear trend here forming in terms of volume. The market is becoming bigger and bigger. More and more money is flowing in the space and through the space. And we are at levels of volume that we haven't seen since last summer. So really, really interesting moment in the NFT space. Now, does this mean that you should go ahead, grab any projects, put your money there and just be done with it? Absolutely not. Actually, I think that this is an extremely turbulent moment in the NFT space, specifically for the projects that are most hyped right now. And actually, just a couple of indicators more. The Origins NFT market summary tells us that there is a lot of greed in the space. Of course, we had higher readings than this one, but this is just another indicator that tells you that the bull market is very, very strong. The trend, the momentum, the sentiment is very, very strong. And also, if we want to look at sheer price action, this indicator here, this index provided by the nifty.com is very useful because what it does is basically creates a basket of NFTs, and this basket on NFTs is averaged out. So there is a sort of average of all the prices of all these NFTs, and this price is tracked so that we can see how the market in general is performing, and they're tracking the most seminal projects, the most seminal and OG projects in the space. Now, what should you do, right? This is the question that everyone is asking. Let me start from what you should not do. In my opinion, guys, none of this is investment advice. I'm just telling you what I think. One of the riskiest approach you can have. One of the most degen things you can do that are likely to get you wrecked is to enter into these novel projects that make it to the top 10 and everyone is so excited about. For instance, at this moment could be CryptoSkulls, could be Azuki, could be Fantabear. So all these projects might be great projects, but the moment they make it to the top 10, it means that if you're entering the trade right now, right at the very moment, right at this very moment, you're taking an enormous amount of risk on that trade. And I'll tell you why. Because historically, all the projects that enter the top 10 get also out of the top 10 very quickly. There are few exceptions. The Bored Apes, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, the Sandbox. These projects have been in the top 10 for weeks now. Actually, when it comes to the Bored Apes, I could say for months, and they never went away from the top 10. And these are the exceptions. So these projects, I'm not scared that they will collapse tomorrow. But when it comes to volume, when it comes to the amount of money flowing through a certain project, the rule has been that they come into the top 10 for a week, maximum 2, and then they get out of it. So on average, probabilistically speaking, if a project just enters top 10, is also going to get out of the top 10 very, very quickly. So just a few examples to really give substance to what I'm saying. At the beginning of the year, at the beginning of this month, we saw projects such as the Prime Ape Planet and Neo Tokyo Outer Identities being in the top 10. And these projects might be great projects, but what I'm trying to say is that now they're not in the top 10 anymore. Now, Prime Ape Planet is at position 40, Neo Tokyo Outer Identities is at position 75. And again, they might be great projects, but as volume goes down, also price comes down with it. You want to see the proof? You can look at it here, massive volumes. And now that volumes are depleting, we are also down in price. For Neo Tokyo Outer Identity, same thing. When the volumes was slightly higher, there were higher readings in price, and then the trend has been going down ever since. Now, they might take a lot of steam tomorrow, both of them, I don't know the future, and come back to the top 10. But how would you feel today if you were entering at the beginning of the month and looking at your price right now down 30 to 40%? There are other places where it is much safer to place your bets, and this place, in my opinion, right now, but for the entire 2022, are the layer 2s. And I'm saying this because right now Ethereum mainnet is working at full capacity. The gas prices are absolutely insane. So everyone is with their eyes glued on Ethereum mainnet. Every project almost is launching on Ethereum mainnet, and it's so hard to tell the signal from the noise. There is so much noise in the space. It is so hard for you to pick just the right project that will become the next big thing. So how do you avoid that? How do you avoid to get lost in all that the noise? Just go on layer 2. Why? Because the amount of addresses that are trading in layer 2 is growing massively. As you can see from this chart, this is the amount of Polygon users on OpenSea over time. In the past 6 months, they went from 0 to basically almost a million users. And right now there is still a barrier for the average user to start using layer 2s. But as the barrier will become lower and lower, and these layers will be more and more accessible, we will see a lot of money flowing into that space. And now this is the moment to look for these OG projects in Polygon, these OG projects in other layer 2s, where you can find basically projects that will increase in value, that will be the Bored Apes of those spaces. Now, I hope that this video was useful for you. I hope that you will use it to increase and make your own research better, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.